Let's enjoy this spicy little intro before we get started.
And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet.
It's my elbow! It's hurting my wrist! You're hurting me, Sheriff! You're hurting me, Sheriff! I can't breathe! Why are you touching my leg? Why are you touching my leg? I can't.
As long as you don't touch it, it's fine. I will.
Let me keep going. Don't let me say anything.
Drop your pipe right here. Drop your pipe. She's elderly. She's elderly and can't walk.
Alright. You ready to go?
Yeah?
Alright. Come on, just keep recording. Just keep recording.
You know, the funny part about this is how many people are online complaining and how the media is like, oh my god, this is a terrible thing. This is their making. This is the media's making. This is the black community's making. This is everything that they have done that has caused us to go to the point that we will give almost $700,000 to a woman for dropping hard R's. And it gets even funnier because the story is, and if you're not familiar, Minnesota is like a Somali haven where they all protect themselves, where some Somali PDF files decided they were going to record a video of a woman dropping some hard R's and thought they were going to make a ton of money, only to give her nearly $700,000. It's actually kind of funny. And everybody's like, well, they're not really pedophiles. The charges were dropped. Well, the charges weren't dropped. They expired. The Somali state decided that they couldn't just drop the charges, so they just kind of let it fall off the docket. That's not really dropping charges and found innocent now, is it, guys? It's like the state saying, oh, the statute of limitations finally hit and we didn't take this to trial, so now the person gets off. Like, that's shitty on itself. So nobody in the comments section try and justify their bullshit. Yeah, so a bunch of Somalis taunted a woman, were stealing shit out of her fucking child's bag, and recorded a video. And I would say she's 100% justified at this point. At this point, the amount of shit we had to go through, I mean, just rewatch the intro and be like, oh no, but you know what the real reason nobody cares and everybody's giving money? It's because the black community decided that they were going to give $500,000 to someone who murdered a white kid and say, yeah, we need to do this to more white people. You know, this never happens if it wasn't for you. And you know, I'm gonna touch on the Austin Metcalf stuff because, like I said, this is what caused this entire situation right here. So we have the Carmelo Anthony fundraiser. I haven't refreshed this in a day. Yeah, $523,000. His family's buying new cars, doing all sorts of shitty shit. But I want to talk about the vile piece of shit that Austin Metcalf's dad is. Let's go over to this interview here. So let's start looking at this absolute beta cuck here. This absolute piece of shit of a human being. This absolutely terrible father.
God teaches us in the Bible. He talks about forgiveness. He also talks about revenge. Not for me to seek. God will take care of it. Karma, I believe in it. It's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I have compassion for
Look at that. He's saying he has compassion for the man that drove a knife to the hilt into his child's heart, and he's not upset about it. What a piece of shit. If I had a son who got stabbed at a track meet, I'm not fucking, oh, I'm sorry you did that, buddy. I'm going fucking full hatred game.
My name is not important. What is important is what I'm going to do. I just fucking hate this world and these human worms feasting on its carcass.
I'm not even fucking being facetious. Like, I'm going full hatred. You stab my son, kill him in cold blood over a seat? And we know it's not Austin Metcalf's fault. And we know that because the police have said they have the video of the incident and they're not going to release it. And the only time that fucking happens is when it goes against the diversity narrative. You know, when it's a transgender mass shooter, they don't release the video, they hide all the documents. When it's a black mass shooter, they hide all the documents, they hide the videos, they don't let it come out for months and months and months. But you know, when it's a white kid, it immediately comes out. It immediately gets released. It immediately gets leaked. It's like, oh no, look, it's totally not the diversity community. So in the random blue moon that we do get, you know, one video a year that's actually published by the media and isn't linked by the police, it's a white person. But again, if it's what, we still don't know anything about the transgender shooter that went into a Christian school. We don't know jack shit unless it gets leaked. Unless somebody in the police department hands it in the wrong place somewhere. We don't know anything about that. I mean, how long did they hide the San Bernardino shooters' identities in California? You know? How long did it take to get that? But no, this father's gonna be like, no, it's okay to stab my fucking children. I'm not mad. He prostrates himself for the black community, saying it's okay to stab white people. I forgive you. And you know what he gets in return for that? Can anybody make a wild fucking guess at what happens when he expresses his support for the black family of the son that stabbed his child to death over a seat at a high school track meet? Can anybody guess?
Started like this. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Now, hold on. Even the person defending the kid who murdered his kid, Austin Metcalf, is saying it's disrespectful for him to be there. Now, I get that he's doing the race grift thing and he's saying it's disrespectful to them, but when even the grifters are calling you out for your bullshit, you know you fucked up. But wait.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that.
And this was a public press conference. This was a public press conference that he showed up to. It's not like he showed up at their house and snuck in and was watching. No, it's where everybody is.
It's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every.
And then he calls him racist. This dude, whose son was brutally stabbed in the chest, all the way up to the fucking hilt, and murdered and died in his twin brother's arms, going limp and cold, bleeding out, unable to do anything, sides with his murderer. And that, you know, that's part of the reason I have this whole channel and go over and touch on random topics, is because they're all intertwined. This doesn't happen if there's no DEI push for the last 30 years. This doesn't happen if public schools aren't teaching kids to be, absolute beta cucks to every other race on the planet, and they're not allowed to have racial identity except if you're any other skin tone than white. You're allowed to have racial identity then, but heaven forbid, you ask a black kid at a track meet to please move out of your seat. You deserve a knife in the heart. And this absolute piece of shit father decides that he's gonna go and defend the murderer. And then you have the mainstream media coming out here and being like, writing articles. Oh my God, it was so bad that the father showed up to some, like, oh my God, this is racist, all sorts of shit. And then the family starts their GoFundMe for their murderer son and raises $523,000. And you know what the entire white community as a whole said? They said, yeah, you know what? The next time a video comes out of a woman dropping some hard R's, we're just going to give her $700,000. $700,000. And they get pissed about it. Because, words are violence, but stabbing a kid in the heart isn't violence, and that's perfectly okay. Go watch the live stream I did on Saturday, because we pull up all the comments before Give Send Go decided that they wanted to hide them so that nobody knew. But if you went through Carmelo Anthony's comments, it was straight up just kill all white people, get rid of white people, exterminate white people deserve this. And that's why we ended up with Shiloh Hendrix, the mother of two, dropping a hard R at a park, being labeled Joan of Park. And I'm not even mad about it. And I've seen even people on the center and the right be like, this is stupid. I'm like, no, this is actually what I've said. There's going to be an extremely hard swing the other direction, and it's going to be bad because the left can't keep their fucking mouths shut about anything. And then on top of that, we get videos every day, every single day, where we see, like I put in the intro, where white people aren't allowed to say words, but the black community are allowed to act like absolute fucking animals, and we're not allowed to say anything about it.
Business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Fuck you, nigger.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say.